Welcome back, everyone, to Echoes of Ihsan. We like to take those deep dives into Islamic tradition, and today we're going to be focusing on partnership.
Okay.
And we're going to be looking at it through Sahih Bukhari, Book 44,
Oh, wow.
which focuses entirely on partnership.
Partnership, a very, very interesting topic.
Yes. And I think, when we think about partnership, we often think about business.
Yes.
But it's so much more than that.
Absolutely.
And as we were looking through these hadiths, it's amazing how many different aspects of life that it really touches on.
It's all encompassing. It's fascinating because it goes beyond just those formal partnerships that we think of, in the business sense or financial sense. It really permeates every aspect of life.
Yeah.
From like how you interact with your neighbor to how you share a meal to, even navigating more complex social dynamics.
Exactly. And we've got a stack of hadiths here from this book. We're going to be kind of jumping around a little bit. But just to give you a little taste of what we're going to be looking at, we're going to see how, the early Muslims shared their meager rations in times of starvation.
Yes.
We're going to be looking at the Prophet's guidance on fairly dividing war booty.
Interesting.
And even we're going to look at something as simple as the etiquette of eating dates with companions.
Oh.
So it's an incredible
I love that.
mix of the everyday and the profound.
That's the beauty of these teachings. I mean, these seemingly like ordinary occurrences can reveal so much about deeper Islamic principles. It's that idea of fairness, equity, social responsibility, recognizing that our actions, even in like the smallest things, impact those around us and how interconnected we are.
I love it. Okay, so let's dive right in.
Let's do it.
The first hadith that caught my eye was 663.
Okay.
And this is the story of Abu Ubaida's army.
Okay.
And they're on this military campaign.
Right.
And things are looking pretty dire. They're miles away from home.
Right.
Supplies are dwindling.
Right.
And they're on the brink of starvation.
Right. You can just imagine yourself as a soldier in that army.
Yeah.
Facing like the harsh realities of war, exhausted, hungry, uncertain about the future, like what's going to happen. And it got so bad that the army's leader, Abu Ubaida, he ordered everyone to gather whatever food they had left.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't much at all.
And some of the soldiers, according to the hadith,
Yes.
only had like a handful of dates left.
A handful of dates. What?
I mean, can you imagine relying on a few dates to sustain you through that kind of ordeal?
It really speaks to their resilience. It speaks to their unwavering faith. And then the story takes this remarkable turn. So they gather all this food, and it's probably this like very meager pile of dates, and they distribute it amongst the soldiers, and each person receives a single date as their daily ration.
Wow. Just one date. It's hard to fathom how they could find any kind of sustenance from that.
Right, I know.
Sure.
Just one date. But you know what? This act of sharing, even in the face of extreme scarcity, speaks volumes about their sense of brotherhood, their trust in Allah's provision. And Jabir bin Abdullah, one of the soldiers who was actually on that expedition, recounts that even when that one single date ran out, they never lost hope. Yeah.
It's just so inspiring.
It is.
That even in those most difficult situations, they had that trust in Allah that He would provide.
That's a powerful reminder for us, even in our own lives when we face difficulties. We can find solace and strength in trusting that Allah will provide for us.
Absolutely. And this theme of, communal sharing and trust in Allah's blessings is also beautifully illustrated in Hadith 664, which describes a time of famine in Medina.
All right. A very difficult time. The people of Medina are facing this severe food shortage, and they approached the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for guidance.
Right. And they actually, requested permission to slaughter their camels.
Yes.
It's a pretty desperate measure.
It is. A desperate measure to try and alleviate the hunger.
Right.
But the Prophet, known for his compassion and wisdom, instead of outright rejecting their requests, instructed them to gather any remaining food they had.
Yeah, and they did.
They did.
The people came together and they brought whatever little they had left. They laid it all out on this leather sheet.
It's just a humbling sight to imagine.
Yeah.
A testament to their collective struggle. And then the Prophet, peace be upon him, did something really profound.
Yeah, he invoked Allah's blessings on it.
He invoked Allah's blessings upon that meager collection of food. And what followed was nothing short of a miracle. That small amount of food miraculously multiplied, providing enough sustenance for everyone present.
It's just such a powerful reminder, isn't it?
It is.
That, even when things seem hopeless, that if we put our trust in Allah,
and we come together as a community, that amazing things can happen.
It really underscores that Islamic principle of trusting in Allah's provision even when circumstances appear hopeless. And it emphasizes the importance of communal sharing and unity in times of hardship. Those are the times when we really need to come together.
And I think it makes you think about how we can apply this principle in our own lives.
Yes.
Whether it's, contributing to food banks or supporting charitable causes or just, sharing what we have with those in need.
Absolutely.
I
mean, these stories about sharing in times of scarcity, they really set the stage, I think, for understanding the true essence of partnership in Islam. Because it's so much more than just dividing profits, sharing resources.
Right.
It's about fostering that sense of shared responsibility, empathy, genuine concern for the well-being of others.
It's about weaving those threads of compassion and generosity into the very fabric of our interactions. Absolutely. And creating that kind of tapestry of support and understanding within the community. And this, this awareness of the needs of others extends even to something as simple as eating together.
Yes, you're referring to Hadiths 669 and 670.
Yes.
Which delves into the etiquette of eating dates. An everyday occurrence.
Yeah, it's
but one that holds profound lessons.
Yeah, and this is something that I was kind of struck by initially.
Okay.
Is that some of these hadiths are focusing on things that seem so minor.
Right.
But when you really start to unpack them, you realize that even the smallest actions can hold such deeper significance. So, for example, seeking permission before eating 2 dates in a gathering. Why such an emphasis on that?
Think about it. When you seek permission, even for something as simple as eating 2 dates, you're acknowledging that food is a shared resource. You're expressing consideration for those around you.
Making sure everyone has enough, acknowledging their presence, their needs.
It's so true. And I never really thought about it that way. But it really transforms it from just a simple act of eating into this beautiful gesture of respect.
It is. It's like a pause, a moment to acknowledge the interconnectedness of our lives. Even in the most mundane moments, it's that mindfulness that's at the heart of Ihsan. And this mindfulness isn't just limited to eating, right?
Right.
It permeates all aspects of Islamic life, from business dealings to social interactions.
Absolutely.
Reminding us to approach every situation with that consciousness of our impact on others.
And speaking of business dealings, these hadiths also really shed light on the Islamic approach to fairness and equity, particularly in the division of resources.
Absolutely.
Whether it's, spoils of war or even just shared ownership.
Yes. Hadiths 666, 668, and 679 offer this fascinating glimpse into how the early Muslim community really was meticulous about making sure that everyone received a fair share, regardless of status or contribution. For instance, Hadith 665 outlines the practice of dividing camel meat into 10 portions after the Esker prayer.
It seems like such a specific detail.
Right.
But I think it really
it speaks volumes.
Shows their dedication to establishing clear guidelines.
Absolutely. Clear procedures to ensure that fairness.
And that meticulous approach, it wasn't just limited to food distribution.
No, no. In fact, Hadith 6666 recounts this amazing story of the Ash'ari tribe, who were known for their generosity and their strong sense of community. During times of hardship, they would pool all the remaining food and distribute it equally amongst themselves using a measuring bowl.
That's remarkable.
So that everyone got an equal portion.
So it wasn't just random acts of kindness. It was really coming from this understanding.
Yes, a deep-rooted belief in those Islamic principles of social responsibility. Importance of ensuring the welfare of all community members.
And those principles weren't just confined to, basic necessities like food. They extended to the division of spoils of war.
Yes, Hadith 6668 provides this account of the Prophet Muhammad's specific instructions on how to divide the spoils of war after a battle. He established this clear system equating 10 sheep to 1 camel, ensuring a fair distribution of wealth among the soldiers based on this predetermined formula.
So again, it wasn't arbitrary.
It wasn't arbitrary at all. There was a clear framework in place.
That's clear.
A transparent system. And it's interesting, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, also provided detailed guidance on the ethical treatment of animals, even in the context of warfare. He emphasized the importance of using tools that cause swift and humane death when slaughtering animals.
Yeah, he specifically mentioned that teeth or fingernails shouldn't be used.
Right.
And he said that teeth or bones and fingernails are tools used by the Ethiopians.
It's fascinating because those details, they might seem minor, but they demonstrate that Islamic emphasis on compassion, respect for all creatures, even in those situations that could easily justify, a more pragmatic approach.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of adhering to that higher moral standard in all aspects of life.
So again, it's not just about dividing resources fairly.
It's not just about the practical. It's about conducting ourselves with integrity, compassion in every action.
And that really resonates with the concept of Ihsan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Striving for that excellence in every aspect of our lives.
Now, I'm kind of curious to move into how these principles apply to situations of shared ownership.
Okay.
Particularly when it comes to resolving disputes or navigating these complex financial transactions.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And Hadith 671, 672, and 681 delves into that very topic.
Okay.
They delve into the complexities of manumitting a jointly owned slave.
Okay.
Which might seem like a topic that's distant from our lives today.
Right.
But it offers valuable insights into the Islamic approach to resolving conflicts, ensuring justice for all parties involved.
Okay, so let's dive into that.
Let's do it.
Because this seems like a very sensitive and complex issue.
It is, and it highlights the Prophet's unwavering commitment to ensuring the complete freedom of the slave, even if it required financial contributions from all the co-owners.
So even in a system where, slavery was a reality, the Islamic teachings
emphasized the importance of freeing slaves.
Yeah.
Of ensuring their human dignity.
Right.
So, for instance, Hadith 671 states that if one owner wants to free their share of the slave, but cannot afford to buy out the other shares, the slave is still partially freed.
Partially freed.
Partially freed.
Okay.
Reflecting the share owned by the person who wished to manumit them.
Okay, so even if complete freedom
isn't
possible right away.
Right.
It's
acknowledged.
Acknowledged.
That act of freeing a portion is recognized and honored.
Yeah. And it shows, a commitment to progress.
Absolutely.
And a recognition of the slave's right to freedom.
It's a step towards that ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And then Hadith 672 goes even further.
Okay.
It emphasizes the obligation of the person who wishes to free the slave to actively find ways to secure the remaining funds.
Right.
Either through their own means or by allowing the slave to work and earn their freedom without being overburdened.
Wow. So again, these hadiths are providing these very specific...
They are.
Guidelines.
Very detailed guidance.
For how to navigate these really...
complex situations.
Difficult situations.
Absolutely.
And they demonstrate this real commitment to upholding justice for everyone involved.
Absolutely. And, these principles of fairness, transparency, compassion, they have implications far beyond the specific context of slavery. They offer valuable lessons for resolving conflicts in any situation involving shared ownership.
Right.
Whether it's dividing an inheritance, dissolving a business partnership, settling debts. These principles guide us towards equitable solutions that prioritize fairness, uphold the dignity of all involved.
So, while these hadiths might seem rooted in a specific...
Historical context.
Yes. The principles they embody.
They transcend time and context.
Oh, really? Timeless?
They do.
And universally applicable.
Absolutely. Offering valuable guidance for building those just and equitable relationships in all aspects of our lives.
This has been such an insightful exploration so far.
It has.
I'm really eager to continue our journey.
Yes.
And uncover even more.
Let's do it.
Gems of wisdom from these hadiths.
I'm excited.
Me too.
It's amazing how these teachings from centuries ago can feel so relevant to our lives today.
It really is.
It's like, holding up a mirror to our own partnerships, our interactions, and making us reflect, are we bringing this level of awareness, intention, fairness into our everyday lives.
It really makes you think about your relationships at work.
Yes.
In your family.
Absolutely.
Even with your neighbors. Are we really...
Yeah, are we living up to these ideals?
Are we embodying these principles?
And that's the beauty of studying these texts. They provide that framework for self-reflection and inspire us to strive for that higher standard of conduct in all our dealings. And it's a continuous journey of learning, growth, striving for that excellence, that ihsan.
Okay, so we've explored, themes of sharing, fairness, ethical conduct.
Yes.
But what about those situations where partners have differing opinions,
right,
priorities, even conflicts of interest?
Yeah. How do we navigate those tricky situations?
How does Islamic tradition guide us through those?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the Hadith offers valuable insights into navigating those disagreements.
Okay.
And finding solutions that uphold those principles of justice and mutual respect.
Okay.
And this brings us to the concept of shufa.
Okay.
Which we touched upon earlier.
Right, the right of preemption.
Yes, exactly.
And it's fascinating how this concept isn't just about, preserving communal ties.
Yes.
But also it serves as this mechanism for resolving potential conflicts.
Absolutely.
When a partner wants to sell their share of a jointly owned property.
Precisely. So let's imagine a scenario where you have two individuals who jointly own, let's say, a thriving business.
Okay.
And one partner decides, you know what? I want to sell my share.
Okay.
I want to sell my share to an outsider. But the other partner has reservations about this new person.
Yeah, makes sense.
Joining the venture.
Yeah, there could be concerns about, their business acumen.
Absolutely.
Potential conflicts of interest.
Yes.
Maybe even just personality clashes.
Right, exactly.
That could disrupt the existing partnership.
Exactly. So in those situations, the principle of shufa provides a framework for addressing those concerns.
Okay.
It grants that existing partner the right to purchase the share themselves.
Okay.
Preventing the entry of someone that they deem unsuitable for the partnership.
So it acts as a safeguard.
It does. It's like a safety net.
Yeah.
Ensuring that existing partners have a say in who they're in business with. Preventing potential disruptions or harm to their established venture.
It protects that existing partnership.
It does. It does, while still allowing for that departing partner to sell their share.
Right.
But shufa isn't just about preventing those negative outcomes.
Right.
It can also be a powerful tool for fostering growth and stability.
Oh, okay. I'm curious to hear how.
Okay, so imagine a scenario where one partner is really eager to expand the business. They have this vision, they see new opportunities, avenues for growth. But the other partner might not have the financial resources to contribute to this expansion. Right, and that could create tension.
Absolutely.
Or an imbalance.
Yeah, one partner feels held back, the other feels pressured.
Yeah.
But with shufa, the partner who's eager to expand can purchase the other partner's share, enabling them to move forward with their vision, while ensuring fair compensation for the departing partner.
So it allows for the partnership to kind of evolve.
It does.
In a way that works for everyone.
Exactly. It aligns with the goals and capabilities of those involved.
So it's not just a conflict resolution mechanism.
It's not.
It's really a tool that can be used.
It's a dynamic
for growth.
Yes.
And, and ensuring that things are fair.
Absolutely. It embodies that Islamic emphasis on finding balanced solutions that uphold both individual rights and the well-being of the collective.
Right.
It recognizes that change is inevitable.
Yeah.
And it provides that framework for navigating those transitions in a just and equitable manner. It's a good reminder that disagreements and differing opinions are a natural part of any partnership.
They're going to happen.
Yeah. And it's really about having those mechanisms in place to address them.
In a constructive way.
In a constructive way, and make sure everyone feels heard and respected.
Absolutely. And these principles of conflict resolution, they extend beyond business partnerships.
Right.
They can be applied to family disputes, community disagreements, even international relations.
Wow.
It's about fostering that culture of dialogue, understanding, compromise.
Yeah.
Seeking solutions that address the root causes of conflict.
Yeah.
Rather than resorting to, suppression or coercion.
And that brings us to another really crucial aspect of partnership.
Yes.
That we've been touching upon, which is that importance of clear communication.
Yes, transparency in all our dealings.
Yes, whether we're, negotiating a business contract or dividing an inheritance.
Right.
Or even just making plans with friends.
Yeah.
That open and honest communication is just It's essential.
It is. It's essential for preventing those misunderstandings.
Right.
Building that trust, ensuring everyone's on the same page.
And I think Hadith 677, which, discouraged those mixed cash and credit transactions.
Yes.
Really drove that point home.
It did.
It's about eliminating ambiguity.
Yes.
Making sure that all parties involved have a very clear
understanding of the terms,
the conditions
of the agreement.
Yes, fostering that clarity, that transparency, a sense of mutual understanding in all our interactions.
And this applies.
And it goes beyond
financial transactions.
All facets of partnership, outlining roles and responsibilities.
Right.
Openly expressing needs and expectations.
It's about creating an environment where everyone feels comfortable, voicing their concerns.
Yes.
Asking questions.
Absolutely.
Seeking clarification without fear of judgment or reprisal.
Psychological safety within that partnership.
Yeah. Allowing for that open dialogue, constructive feedback.
It's so important.
It is, because when partners feel safe to communicate openly and honestly, it fosters that trust, it deepens understanding, it strengthens the foundation of that relationship. And that transparency, that vulnerability is essential for navigating those disagreements, celebrating successes, and weathering challenges together.
It's amazing how these seemingly simple concepts, clear communication, fairness,
shared responsibility
can have such a profound impact.
They do. They really do.
On any partnership.
It's the foundation.
Yeah.
But you know what? So often these fundamental principles, they're overlooked. We take them for granted. We get caught up in the busyness of life, the demands of work, the pressures of family, and we forget to nurture those relationships.
We're not really present.
We're not present. We're on autopilot.
Yeah.
Rather than approaching those interactions with intention and awareness.
It's like we're going through the motions.
Yes.
Focused on the tasks and transactions.
Exactly.
Rather than genuinely connecting
with the people.
With the people in our lives.
And appreciating the value of those relationships.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's so valuable to revisit these principles.
Absolutely.
They remind us to approach our partnerships with mindfulness.
Yes.
With compassion. With a genuine desire for mutual benefit.
It's about shifting our focus from the transactional to the relational.
Yes.
Recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every individual that we interact with.
It's about recognizing that our relationships aren't just a means to an end.
Yes.
But they're a source of meaning and purpose.
They are a source of fulfillment in our lives.
And fulfillment in our lives.
True partnership is a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
It requires continuous effort, open communication, a willingness to adapt, grow, evolve together. Embrace both the joys and the challenges that come with sharing our lives with others.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
In our exploration of partnership.
We have.
We've talked about the significance of sharing in times of scarcity.
Ensuring fairness in the division of resources.
Upholding ethical conduct.
Yes.
Resolving conflicts through mechanisms like shufa.
Right.
And prioritizing clear and open communication.
And through it all, we've seen how that profound concept of Ihsan, that commitment to striving for excellence and beauty in all that we do, it permeates every aspect of these principles.
It's about going beyond just, compliance.
Yes, mere compliance.
With the rules.
With rules and obligations.
And really embracing that spirit.
Of generosity.
Cultivate. And that desire to create a more just and harmonious world.
It's about infusing our actions with that intention, recognizing that interconnectedness of our lives, and striving to make a positive impact on the world around us.
Absolutely. And while these hadiths, offer these specific guidelines and examples, they're ultimately meant to inspire us to think critically.
Yes.
To apply these principles to our own unique circumstances.
Yes. Our own conflict.
And to find those creative solutions to the challenges that we're facing.
It's not about blind adherence to rules. It's about understanding the underlying values.
Right.
And adapting them to our modern context.
So it's not about, living in the past.
Right.
Or trying to recreate a bygone era.
Yes.
But it's about taking those timeless wisdoms.
Yes.
And weaving them into our modern lives.
Right.
Creating a tapestry that honors both, the traditions of Islam,
yes,
and the realities of our contemporary world.
You've captured it beautifully.
It's a continuous process, isn't it?
It is.
Of weaving and adapting and applying.
A dynamic interplay between tradition and modernity.
Yeah.
Finding ways to live out those timeless values in a world that's constantly evolving.
It's a beautiful process of self-discovery and transformation.
It is.
You know, a journey towards embodying that spirit of Ihsan.
Absolutely.
In all that we do.
And as we embark on that journey, it's important to remember we're not alone. We are part of a larger community.
Yes.
A collective striving towards that excellence and beauty in all aspects of life.
And that sense of community, that feeling of shared purpose and mutual support, is perhaps the most powerful aspect of partnership.
It is.
In Islamic tradition.
It reminds us we're interconnected. Yeah. Our actions have ripple effects, and together we can create a world that reflects those values of justice, compassion, and harmony.
What a beautiful and inspiring thought.
It is.
You know, it reminds us that even amidst all the complexities and challenges of our modern world, we have that power.
You do.
To make a difference.
Absolutely.
To create positive change.
Yes.
And to build a world that really reflects the best of who we are. Wow, this exploration of partnership in Islamic tradition has been really eye-opening.
It is, isn't it?
It's so much more profound than I initially imagined.
It is.
It goes beyond just the transactional.
Absolutely.
You know, it's woven into the very essence of how we interact with the world and each other.
It is. You know, it's not just a set of rules or guidelines. It really is a way of life, you know, that prioritizes fairness, compassion, and recognizes that interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah.
It's understanding that our actions, no matter how small, ripple outwards, impact others.
It's inspiring to see how these principles, rooted in centuries-old traditions, can be applied to the challenges we face in our modern world.
Exactly. I mean, take, for instance, like the pressing global issues that we're grappling with today, climate change, economic inequality, political polarization, these complex challenges, they require us to move beyond self-interest, embrace that collective spirit of shared responsibility. We need to come together, recognizing that our well-being is intertwined with the well-being of others, and work collaboratively towards that common goal.
And those are precisely the values that are emphasized.
Exactly.
In this concept of partnership that we've been exploring.
Yes.
This deep dive into Sahih Bukhari, Book 44, has really illuminated the Islamic emphasis on recognizing that we are all
part of a larger ecosystem.
Part of this larger ecosystem, and that our individual actions have consequences.
Ripple effects.
That extend far beyond ourselves.
Yes.
And that true progress can only be achieved through collaboration.
Absolutely.
Mutual respect.
And a genuine desire to create a better world for all.
Absolutely. It's about shifting from that mindset of me versus them to a mindset of we. You know, it's about transcending those artificial divisions.
Recognizing our shared humanity.
Yeah.
And when we embrace this interconnectedness, we begin to see the world differently.
Yeah.
We understand that caring for others isn't just a moral obligation.
Right.
It's essential for our own well-being.
And in that shift in perspective is so crucial.
It is.
Especially in a world that often emphasizes, you know,
individualism, competition.
Individualism and competition.
Yes.
The Islamic concept of partnership.
Yes.
Seems to offer a really powerful antidote.
It does.
To these divisive forces.
You've hit the nail on the head. You know, it's about cultivating that sense of unity.
Yeah.
Recognizing we are all part of a larger whole.
Yeah.
Understanding that true strength lies in collaboration.
Yeah.
Not isolation. You know, the spirit of partnership. It's a potent force. For positive change. It's a force that can help us overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges.
And so while the specific situations that are described in these hadiths might seem rooted in a specific historical context, the principles that they embody
they transcend
have this timeless relevance.
This timeless relevance.
You know, they offer us a roadmap for building more just
equitable, compassionate relationships.
Compassionate relationships.
In all aspects of our lives.
Regardless of our backgrounds.
Precisely. These principles of fairness, compassion, shared responsibility, these are universal values that resonate deeply with people across cultures, belief systems. They speak to that shared human longing for connection, meaning a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
It's about recognizing the inherent dignity of every individual.
Absolutely.
Fostering a sense of belonging.
Yes.
Creating a society where everyone feels valued and respected.
And it's not just about, those lofty ideals or theoretical concepts.
Right.
It's about taking those values, weaving them into the fabric of our daily lives.
Yes.
Making choices that reflect those principles.
Yeah.
Whether it's in our personal relationships, our professional endeavors, or our engagement with the wider world.
It's about being mindful.
Yes.
Of how our actions impact others.
Being willing to share.
Being willing to share. Being fair and transparent.
Yes.
And always striving to leave the world a little bit better than we found it.
Beautifully said.
It's about embodying that spirit of Ihsan.
Yes.
Striving for that excellence and beauty in all that we do.
Not because we're obligated to, but because it aligns with our deepest values and aspirations. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes not from pursuing self-interest, but from contributing to the well-being of others.
This conversation has left me feeling incredibly inspired.
It is inspiring.
Despite all the complexities and challenges that we face,
yes,
I feel this renewed sense of hope.
Me too.
That if we can embrace these principles of partnership, if we can really work together
with compassion, understanding,
I believe we can create a brighter future for ourselves and for generations to come.
I share your optimism. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the state of the world.
Yeah.
But I think this exploration has reminded me of the power of human connection.
Yeah.
The strength of shared purpose.
Yeah.
And the potential for positive change.
Absolutely.
When we work together.
Well, I am so grateful for this conversation.
It's been a pleasure.
It's given me such a fresh perspective
Good.
On what it means to live a life of meaning and purpose.
And I hope it has done the same for our listeners. Perhaps as you go about your day, you'll carry these principles with you, allowing them to guide your actions, shape your interactions, and inspire you to create those positive ripples of change.
Yes.
In the world.
That's a beautiful thought to end on.
It is.
Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey.
Thank you for having me.
Into the heart of Islamic tradition.
It's been a pleasure.
May you find peace and blessings.
And to you as well.
In all your partnerships.
Thank you.